What's going on, Spitfires? Welcome back to another episode of the Spitfire Podcast. I'm your host, Lauren Lemunion, the Spitfire Coach, and today I want to inspire you with a word. Today we are focusing on one word to motivate you, to simplify, to push you into a new way of thinking. And maybe it's not about pushing, maybe it's about enticing you into a new way of thinking. Earlier this week, I was talking to a client who has absolutely been killing it. I mean, she has been bringing in amazing business. She is the manifesting queen. But like a lot of people, things pile up. Things feel really hard. They feel really challenging. I know that I have felt this way, and I don't know how people have escaped this feeling during the last 7-8 months. So I want to give you a question to remind yourself to focus on as you go about your day, as you make plans, as you set goals, as you put expectations on yourself. The question is, how can I make this easier? If you live in the States, you are probably familiar with Staples, and they had the easy button. And you could press it and everything would magically get easier. And life sometimes feels like it has to be harder, it has to be difficult. But why? How can we make things easier for ourselves? Maybe that means asking someone else for help. Maybe that means creating a process. Maybe that means saying no. Maybe that means saying yes to less. But if we assume that everything that comes our way is meant for us, that we have to add it to our already full and overflowing plate, all that does is create a power vacuum where all of our power gets sucked up, all of our choice gets sucked up, and our engagement plummets. We go from feeling like we are at the driver's seat with our hands on the wheel, cruising down our choice lane, that we are going and doing the things that make us happy, we're connecting to our values and our purpose. And then as we collect these things that sort of look like choice, but not really, there may be disguised as choice of, you get to choose between this or this and you don't want either. That plate starts to overflow. And then we start to sink back into, well, I need to do this because my family needs it, or because my business needs it, or because my clients need it. And then those needs that I need to becomes I have to. And we start feeling forced. We start to feel like we are an indentured servant to our to-do list. And we start to lose track of why we're doing things to the point where we no longer have energy and we are in the pit of despair. I can't do it. There is no way. I have no energy or ability to do this. So where is the opportunity to make things easier? Is it when we're in a position where we just can't do things anymore? That's usually when it comes up. But imagine if we could choose to make things easier. Imagine if we were constantly working in our process of making things light and easy and doable. The opportunity is when we're feeling great. But unfortunately, we have been fed by this external validation of doing equals value. I do things and therefore I am valuable. I get tons of shit done and therefore I have high value. But the value is not in the doing. The value is in the being. Being in control, being aligned, being full of purpose, being with your values. When we lose track of that, when we start to value other people's opinions, vision, expectation of who we're supposed to be, we start chasing that. We start chasing that feeling of being enough, of being okay, of someone else saying, you did good today, kid. But what if we could do that for ourselves? What if we could be easier and kinder on ourselves and say, I did the best I could today. Look at all I got done today, rather than looking at your to-do list and saying, I didn't get that done. I had a client say to me, you know what, I think I should start a done list instead of a to-do list. And I thought that was a great idea. We have so many opportunities throughout our day to celebrate ourselves, to recognize the effort and the input that we put in. But when we get tired, that's where judgment comes in. That's where we start to judge whether or not we did enough. So I don't want you to think about what you did, of what you did for other people, but who you were. How did you feel? Was it your choice? And if it was your choice, what value did it connect to? How did you honor that value? If we don't know why we're doing things, why are we doing it? If we're not having fun, if we're not enjoying it, why are we doing it? Yes, there are certain things that are not super fun, like paying bills and paying your taxes, but actually, I find paying my taxes when I have money in the bank is quite therapeutic. It's a nice little, yes, I did it. But we have the opportunity to reframe things and to choose to do things differently. So I want you to imagine that you have an easy button right in front of you, and you're looking at your list of things that are on your plate for today. Imagine pressing that easy button, and 50% of that list goes away. Now, it could either get moved to somebody else, it could be reduced, or it could be completely eliminated. Go through that list and start shifting. And if you think you have to do everything, break it down into smaller pieces. Nothing has to all be done by you. Even like even neurosurgeons have people helping them. They have co-surgeons, they have nurses, they have support staff. If they had to go and file all of their paperwork, if they had to prep all of their tools, if they had to administer anesthesia, they wouldn't have the energy and the focus to do that intricate work that they specialize in. So think of yourself as a neurosurgeon. What are the things that you need to focus on? What are those high-level priorities that only you can do? And where can you start to recruit in, or start recognizing that you have people around you that are ready to help you? So push that easy button, reduce your list by 50%, break it down into smaller pieces, and focus primarily on the things that are 100% only for you and your expertise. Are you ready to make things easy? I know I am. All right, you guys keep being awesome, and until next time, I'm the Spitfire Coach.